Good morning. Happy Monday. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me get my notes pulled up. Happy Monday, happy Monday. I am preparing for a much needed vacation with my friends. Good morning. Let me know if you can hear me and see me in the chat, please. We're going to discuss IRS notices today. I'm getting my notes pulled up to make sure I don't forget anything. Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. I know I'm not the only one that wish they could sing. Because, baby, listen, you won't be able to tell me nothing. Good morning, CP504. I'll wait a few minutes. It's 9:04. I'll wait one more minute before I start talking about these IRS notices, particularly CP504. I will share with you what that notice means and why you should not ignore that intent to levy notice. Good morning, Cliff. How are you? I am doing well. How was your weekend? My weekend was amazing. We partied over the weekend and celebrated my big sister's 50th birthday. It was grand. Had me a good time. Good old time in Atlanta. All right, y'all. So today I want to discuss IRS notices, particularly CP504. I've been getting calls from clients that are receiving the CP504. CP504 is your notice of intent to levy. Last week, we discussed in levies versus liens. So if you're not sure what a levy is, go back and watch my live from, I think it was on Thursday. I can't remember if it was Thursday or Friday, but I think it was Thursday. So the Internal Revenue Service is sending the CP504 to people that they've already sent notices to. So when people call me and say, I received the intent to levy notice, they're afraid and they want to know what it means. I automatically know when they tell me, because I ask what the notice number is, because it's different notice numbers in the top right corner. So when they tell me it's the CP504, I already know that they've already received prior notices that they either didn't receive because they probably moved and don't have the same address, or the Internal Revenue Service don't have their updated address on file, or they just didn't open the letters thinking that the problem's going to go away and they didn't read it. So that they have to send you, the Internal Revenue Service has to send you a series of notices before they take enforcement actions by levying your bank accounts and filing liens. So they'll send you a CP14. That's the first balance due reminder notice. That notice is sending you an outline of how much you owe, what years you owe for, and it'll list the penalties and interest. And then if you don't respond or pay, then they're going to send you another notice, notice CP501. And then they'll send you a CP503. Make sure the CP503 is the correct order. CP, I don't want to give y'all wrong information, so let me do a fact check real quick on the order of the notices. I think it is CP50. Yep, it's CP503. Hold on. Let me go on and pull all of them up so I can share all the notices that you all need to be aware of. Yep. Okay. So CP14, CP501, that's the reminder. CP503, that's kind of an urgent reminder saying, hey, I've sent you 2 notices. This is number 3. I still have not heard from you. And then you'll receive the CP504. Now, the CP504 means, okay, this is it. It's not hello, how are you? Friendly reminder. Is this it? This is my last letter before I start taking your shit. Chrissy, they send intent to levy and don't levy. My client received one for $78. And I have another client been receiving for years. Chrissy, I can't quite put together what you're trying to say. Can you make that make a little bit more sense for me? Yeah, I don't know what you're trying to say. I'll give her a few minutes to help me understand what she's trying to say so I can answer her question. Okay, I'll keep going and I'll check back. I'll check back with my notes. I mean, with the comments to see what she's trying to say. All right, so when you receive the intent to levy notice CP504, that means this is it. I'm not threatening you anymore. I'm going to start taking action. And that action means they can start garnishing your wages. They can start revoking your passport or deny your passport. If you apply for a passport, they'll deny it. If you try to renew your passport, they'll deny it. Or if you have a passport, they can actually revoke your passport. If you wake up one day and you're trying to pay a bill and that payment is declined, and you call your bank and you tell your bank, okay, like I got $50,000 in my bank account. Why am I not able to pay my bill? The bill is only $200. And the person on the other line says, you have a freeze on your bank account. That freeze is from the Internal Revenue Service. That is legal. If you owe the IRS and you ignore all those notices, they can freeze your bank account. What they'll do is they'll put a 21-day hold on your bank account. And once that 21 days is over, then the bank has to send the money to the government. Now, if you have $100,000 in your bank account and you owe the IRS $50,000, they will only put a freeze on what you owe them. You may or may not be able to get those funds back. It's very hard for us to get those funds back during that 21-day period. I talked about this last week. We have to show it has to be some type of hardship that freeze is causing. So I'm telling you, it's not easy to get that money back. And once it's gone, especially if you owe $50,000 and you got double that amount in there. It's going to be hard to show a hardship because you still got $50,000 left. Chrissy, I'm checking back to see if you, no, I don't see anything on here. Yeah, I can't put together what she was trying to say. So that's in a nutshell, that's what the CP504 means. a lot of people get very afraid when they see that letter because it's a final notice of intent to levy or an intent to levy, and they tell you that they're going to seize that. With that letter, the only thing that they can seize is what I would inform you all to be worried about is if you're still getting a tax refund and you get that intent to levy notice, they can take your state refund. The letter doesn't have much more power than that. It scares a lot of people though, so I have to kind of calm some people down when they call. Oh, they're gonna take they're gonna garnish my wages. They're about to freeze my bank account. Not yet, not that day, but they're telling you it's coming. So please do not ignore those letters. When you receive that CP14, that means that you are either already in the collections department or you are about to go to the collections department. That CP14 will also tell you that we have the right now to file a tax lien against you. And that lien I've seen tax liens as low as $200. So it doesn't have to be you don't have to owe the IRS over $10,000 to receive a tax lien. I've seen them much lower. I've seen much lower amounts than that. So if you owe them, please make sure that you get representation. I do not recommend anyone trying to contact, and I'm just scrolling to see if I have any questions. I don't recommend anyone trying to resolve this themselves. Now, if you only owe a few thousands, then you probably, if you owe under 10,000, I think that you can work something out with them yourself. But some people are just so afraid to talk to the Internal Revenue Service, like they don't want to talk to them at all. They will pay anybody whatever to get this issue resolved. And I run across that a lot because honestly, I don't normally take cases from clients if you owe less than $100,000. My volume is high, so I have a threshold of where I will accept the case, and it has to be over $100,000. Now, what you should not do is call the IRS just to see what they say, because everything that you tell them is going to be used against you. They're going to start asking you about your income. They're going to start asking you about your assets. They're going to start asking you a lot of questions, and they're not trying to help you. They are building a case against you to find out where your money is, how much money you're receiving per month, what type of assets do you have? Do you own your home? Do you have any vehicles? Do you have any boats? Do you have they're trying to find out how much that you can pay, or if you can afford to pay them in full. So stop calling the IRS asking them these different questions, just trying to find out what's going on, because they're going to ask you a series of questions, and those questions again will be used against you. So don't call them telling them about all the assets that you have, about all these businesses that you have, and then you call me and you set me up because you didn't already call them and told them everything. So now it's hard for me to get you placed in the best program because you done already said some shit that you had no business saying. So do not call them. If you do not call me to help you, make sure the person that you call is licensed. They either need to be a CPA, a tax attorney, or an enrolled agent. I do not recommend you calling your tax preparer unless your tax preparer is licensed and know what they are doing. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that because some people, by the time they go to their tax preparer who actually created the problem, they've made the problem worse. They've done certain actions on that account that they had no business doing. And it messes me up because I got a lot of ways to backdoor stuff. But if you are taking certain actions, it's messing up my whole plan for you. And I'll give you an example. I had a client last year that hadn't filed taxes in 10 years. So before you are able to settle any type of way, you have to be compliant. And compliance means that all your tax return has to be filed. That does not mean that you have to go and file 10 years worth of taxes. Oh my God. Please stop going to these people that don't know what they're doing. I had a client that came to me and told me, okay, MJ, I'm compliant. I gave her the whole game plan of what we needed to do. And she was like, okay, let me get my money together and I'll call you when I'm ready to pay. I was like, okay, bet, but I can't promise you that I can protect you because I don't know where you are in the collections process, number one. And number two, I don't want you to say, MJ didn't tell me that they was about to levy my bank account and garnish my wages. I can't tell you what I don't know. So until I do my investigation, I don't know what's going on with you. What I don't want you to do is to go back to your tax preparer and try to give them my game plan. Because what happened with this example, she went and the tax preparer filed all 10 years. She filed all 10 years. Legally, you do not have to file 10 years. You only have to file 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You only have to file 6 years to be considered compliant. Those 10 years created this lady a debt of over $200,000 that she didn't even have to have. So stuff like that is why I say and why I recommend that you go to someone that is licensed, someone that is trained in tax resolution, and someone that is trained in representation. That's another thing. People don't understand that tax resolution and representation are two separate things. They're different. They're not the same thing. So be mindful of who you are getting your help from, because some people, they are trying to help, but they just don't know that they're harming you because they're not trained. So make sure that that person is trained. Good morning, Miss Sharon Mason Love. How are you? Chrissy, you never did add what you were trying to say. So maybe I can catch you tomorrow, or you can email me or inbox me what you were trying to say, because I can't put together what you were trying to say. All right, y'all, that's my time for today. Let me get my day started. I'm wishing you all an amazing Monday. Don't forget to be kind, because you don't know what people are going through. Some people probably can be one step away from jumping off that bridge. So the way you treat people and what you say and how you handle people, it matters. So be mindful of the way you treat people. Okay. All right. Have an amazing week. Peace.